Hello everyone, my name is Aishwarya Rao, and today we're going to explore a textbook called Fundamentals of Business Process Management, Chapter 1, in which we are going to know more about concept called Business Process Management or BPM in a way that is easy to understand for everyone, regardless of your familiarity with IT. Think of BPM as the art and science of how work gets done within an organization. Just like a conductor leads an orchestra to create beautiful music, BPM helps orchestrate the various activities and decisions within a company to achieve specific goals and outcomes. So, as you can see, BPM can be broken down into simpler terms or goals like managing your workflows, ensuring consistent outcomes, seizing improvement opportunities, and adding value. Like, for example, in the process of booking a flight, from searching for flights online to making a reservation, checking in, and boarding the plane, each step is a part of a larger process that is carefully managed to ensure a smooth and enjoyable experience for the traveler. BPM is like the conductor of orchestra, guiding and coordinating the various elements to create harmonious and successful performance. It's about managing workflows, ensuring consistency, seizing opportunities for improvement, and ultimately adding value to the organization. Now, BPM is all about making sure that the way work gets done in an organization is as efficient and effective as possible. It's like being the coach of a sports team, ensuring every player knows their role, performs well, and works together to win the game. Now, some of the elements of BPM are here as follows. Overseeing the work, BPM involves keeping an eye on how tasks are performed within the organization. It's about ensuring everything runs smoothly. Consistent outcomes is one of the main goals of BPM to achieve consistent result. You always want to make sure that every customer gets the same high quality product or service each time they interact with your business. Improvement opportunities for BPM, it isn't just about maintaining the status quo. It's always about looking for ways to do things better. For continuous improvement, BPM is an ongoing effort. This means regularly reviewing and refining your processes to make them even better over time. Managing entire chain of events, BPM looks at the bigger picture. Instead of focusing on individual tasks, it manages the entire sequence of events from start to finish. The final one is adding value to organization and customers. The ultimate goal of BPM is to add value both to the organization and customers. For organization, it could mean reducing cost, increasing productivity, or improving employee satisfaction. For customers, it means better products, faster service, and a more satisfying experience. Now, in this section, we can see some common business processes that organizations use to manage different aspects of their operations. I'll explain each process in simpler terms with examples that anyone can relate to. The order to cash process covers everything from when a customer places an order to when the company receives the payment. It is about managing orders and payments. The quote to order process involves providing a quote to a customer and converting it into an order if the customer decides to proceed. The procure to pay process encompasses all steps from procuring goods or services to paying the supplier. The issue to resolution process involves identifying an issue, finding a solution, and implementing that solution to resolve the issue. The application to approval process includes all steps from submitting an application to receiving an approval. For example, in order to cash, it's like an online store. In the quote to order, an example could be a custom kitchen renovation. Your contractor gives you a quote, and if you like it, the work gets done and you pay him. For procure to pay, an example could be a restaurant buying its ingredients or a factory placing an order from a supplier. The issue to resolution is like raising a ticket for an issue, could be an internet problem. The application to approval process example could be submitting a loan application to the bank. By understanding and optimizing these processes, organizations can improve their efficiency, customer satisfaction, and overall performance. Now consider this company called Built It, a construction company that specializes in public works like roads, bridges, pipelines, and tunnels, railroads, and wherever. Now, for example, Since we are talking about procure to pay business process, if the company needs the equipment, the site engineers identify the equipment and send a request to their depot clerk. The clerk who gets this request is going to check the suppliers they have to find out the most cost efficient option. Once the clerk has the equipment they think is the most cost efficient, they're going to send the confirmation to the supplier, and the engineers are going to see if that is the equipment they want or if they have any better suggestions. So after a series of approvals and rejections, the equipment gets delivered by the suppliers and the engineers inspect if it has any issues or if it meets their requirements, and replacements are requested if needed. Engineers may request rental period extensions and the suppliers may either accept it or reject it. At the end, once the supplier gets the equipment back, they're going to send the invoice to the clerk who will be confirming the same with the engineers and then send it to the finance department to process for payments. Now, some of the fundamental concepts of business processes, as you can see here, are as follows. Events are like specific occurrences that trigger the mark of a start, end, or change of a process. It's like a signal that something needs to happen. An activity is like the main action or step taken to complete a process. A task is a much smaller specific action that builds up an activity. And decision points are like moments where choices are to be made to determine the next step. Actors are people or entities involved in carrying out either individual smaller tasks or the whole group of tasks called the activity, and they can be human, organizational, or physical. By understanding these components, we can better visualize and manage how work flows within any organization, ensuring efficiency, consistency, and achieving our goals. Now we'll explore the origins and evolution of BPM. Understanding its historical background will help us appreciate its significance in modern organizations. As you can see in this flow chart, in the prehistoric times, humans were generalists. They did everything themselves, from making tools to gathering food, because they needed to know how to survive. As we moved to the ancient times, cities and civilizations grew. People began to specialize in specific trades like pottery, blacksmith, or weaving. To the Middle Age, the guilds were formed. The guilds were groups of craftsmen and merchants involved in the same trade. Workers in this era understood the entire process of the craft but were specialized only in one. The Industrial Revolution era brought about pure specialization, where work process was broken down into simple, repetitive tasks. To sum it up, the journey from generalist work structures to specialized functional units highlight the historical evolution of work management. This laid the foundation for BPM, which focuses on optimizing and managing work processes across entire organizations to achieve better efficiency and effectiveness. Now let's dive into the concept of process thinking and understand how it can transform the way we view and manage work in an organization. Process thinking is a systematic approach that examines workflows and procedures within an organization. It shifts our focus from individual tasks to interconnected processes, aiming to identify inefficiencies and enhance overall efficiency and effectiveness. For example, let's look into the Ford's purchasing process. Ford observed discrepancies and inefficiencies in its purchasing process, from order placement to payment. Traditional approaches addressed individual document errors but failed to address underlying process issues. Instead of fixing isolated problems, Ford adopted a holistic approach. They analyzed the entire procurement workflow, identifying bottlenecks and opportunities for improvement. By identifying this end-to-end process, Ford streamlined its operations and reduced errors. This process thinking enabled Ford to make fundamental changes, leading to significant improvements in efficiency and cost savings. In essence, process thinking transformed Ford's purchasing process by shifting the focus from isolated fixes to holistic improvements. Let's explore the rise and evolution of BPM from its inception to its modern-day significance. The rise of BPR. BPR, business process reengineering or redesign, aimed at radical redesign of business processes to achieve significant improvements in performance metrics like cost, quality, service, and speed. Many organizations worldwide embraced BPR. The fall of BPR came in late 1990s because many companies started terminating the BPR project. The contributing factors were concept misuse, over radicalism, and support immaturity. Revival and evolution to BPM. Empirical studies showed process-oriented organizations outperformed non-process-oriented ones, lending credibility to process thinking. Technological advancements, notably ERP systems and workflow management systems, provided tools to support process improvement. BPM emerged as a broader approach encompassing all aspects of managing processes, including planning, organizing, monitoring, and execution. The journey from BPR to BPM marks a significant shift towards a more comprehensive approach in managing processes. Now let's dive into the BPM life cycle, a structured framework essential for managing business processes effectively. BPM life cycle refers to a series of phases guiding organizations in systematically analyzing, designing, implementing, monitoring, and continuously improving their business processes. In the identification phase, organizations identify critical business processes aligned with their objectives, laying the groundwork for further analysis and optimization. The discovery phase involves mapping out workflows, dependencies, and stakeholders of the identified processes, providing a comprehensive understanding of the inner works. In the analysis phase, organizations uncover inefficiencies, bottlenecks, and areas of improvement. The redesign phase happens on the basis of analysis. Organizations redesign their processes to streamline their workflows and resources. In the implementation phase, with the redesigned processes in place, organizations implement the changes leveraging technology. After the implementation, there is continuous monitoring of the implemented process, allows organizations to track performance, identify new challenges, and make further refinements as needed. Now we're exploring the key stakeholders involved in a BPM life cycle, each playing a vital role in managing and optimizing business processes. The management team provides strategic direction, support, and resources for BPM initiatives. They oversee the alignment of business processes with organizational goals and ensure BPM efforts drive overall business success. Process owners are responsible for specific business processes within the organization. The process participants are individuals or teams directly involved in executing the steps of a business process. Process analysts are tasked with analyzing and optimizing business processes. They conduct detailed assessments to identify inefficiencies and bottlenecks. Process methodologists are experts in process improvement methodologies and techniques. They provide guidance on best practices, tools, and approaches for optimizing business processes. System engineers play a critical role in implementing technology solutions to support BPM initiatives. BPM Group is a dedicated team or department responsible for overseeing BPM initiatives within the organization. The related disciplines for BPM are total quality management. It focuses on continuous improvement of processes, products, and services to meet or exceed customer expectations. Operational management focuses on optimizing day-to-day operations to achieve efficiency, productivity, and cost effectiveness. Lean management emphasizes the elimination of waste and non-value added activities from business processes. Six Sigma is a data-driven approach to process improvement, aiming to reduce defects and variations in products and services. It employs statistical tools and methodologies to measure process performance. These related disciplines in BPM complement each other and contribute to the overarching goal of process optimization and organizational excellence. The summary of this chapter is as follows. A process is a series of events, activities, and decisions that collectively deliver value to an organization's customers. Managing processes effectively is vital for organizational effectiveness and competitiveness. BPM is a comprehensive approach comprising principles, methods, and tools for discovering, analyzing, redesigning, implementing, and monitoring business processes. Process models and performance measures serve as foundational pillars for BPM. The BPM lifecycle phases includes discovery, analysis, redesign, implementation, and monitoring. BPM integrates with complementary disciplines like Lean, Six Sigma, and total quality management to optimize processes. This chapter provides an overview of BPM activities and stakeholders across the lifecycle, setting the stage for a deeper exploration in the subsequent chapters. To conclude, we've explored the fundamentals of BPM, emphasizing its importance in delivering value to customers and enhancing organizational effectiveness. We've learned that BPM encompasses principles, methods, and tools for discovering, analyzing, redesigning, implementing, and monitoring business process. Key components of BPM include process models, performance measures, and BPM lifecycle, which guides organizations through the phases of process management. Additionally, we've seen how BPM integrates with related disciplines like Lean, Six Sigma, and total quality management to optimize processes and drive continuous improvement. As we move forward, the insights gained from this chapter will serve as a foundation for deeper exploration into principles and methods of BPM in subsequent chapters. Thank you.